Hi, I'm Gavin,
And I'm Dave.
and you're on the fringe.
Come along with us for a ride on a podcast where we talk about an area or a thing going on in the world that needs more attention, just like you do. Let's go.
On the fringe. Here we go. Hey, 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 welcome to On the Fringe. I'm Gavin. This is my good friend Dave. And today we're talking about the Defense Security Cooperation Agency, or the DSCA. What's the latest news out of the DSCA, Dave?
Well, it looks like the DSCA is notifying US Congress that Australia wants to buy missiles. They want to buy $1 billion worth of AMRAAM missiles. And they're not just going to throw in the missiles, they're going to throw in everything that they need. So, training, manuals, parts, shipment, delivery, all the technical know how, whole nine yards, the whole kit and caboodle. And this is primarily going to be sold through
Hmm.
RTX, which is a company based in Tucson.
Also known as Raytheon. So Dave, what's an AMRAAM missile?
It is a missile that is air to air, and
Hmm.
I actually do not know that much about these missiles. You probably know more than I do.
Uh, not a whole ton. I will say I suspect that they're for a very specific platform,
Mm-hmm.
which is that these are probably going to be fired from F-35s, which is still an integral part of Australia's defense plan. So these missiles, we've talked about this in previous pod. The DSCA is kind of a live in real time view of American foreign defense policy. Why are we selling advanced air-to-air missiles uh, basically to be used by our most current gen fighter platform to the Australians right now?
And you look at this and you go, okay, this is a way for the US to project power
Hmm.
internationally. And also, I think this ties in strongly to US foreign policy goals in
Yep.
the Asia Pacific region, where we're looking at selling F-16s to the Philippines, and
Mhm.
now we're going to be selling AMRAAM missiles to Australia. So this is a way for the U.S. government to say, okay, China, we look at what you're doing and we're still present. Even though we're across the Pacific, we're still
Mhm.
present in this part of the world.
100%. I think it's a very strong message in a period of time where there's a lot of strong messages going back and forth between the USA and China. I think this is another one saying we're investing in our relationships. We're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. And this is despite the trade war and the tariffs that have recently come out.
Yeah.
And in the last week, the Chinese talked with the Australians, and the Chinese want Australia and they want a whole coalition of countries to have resistance to stop, quote, the bullying and hegemonic behavior of the US. So Chinese are going, hey, this trade war is really bad. These tariffs that the US is putting in are really bad. Let's just leave the US outside of it and we'll like make some new trade deals. And the Australians are going, nah, we're not interested in dealing with you guys. We're going to try to build partnerships with other countries. So India, UK, UAE, they're actually going to do more trade with the US. I saw that they're going to be importing more US beef, which is interesting because Australia does have a very, very large beef and cattle industry, especially up in North Queensland. And Australia is
Big
looking at this
world.
in terms of their foreign policy. They're focused more on defense,
Hmm.
where defense is going to be integral too. Australia's future, and the relationship between the US and Australia is going to be more integral than their longstanding economic relationship with China.
Yeah. So once again, a reminder that if you want to see things developing in real time, the DSCA, not a bad place to look.
Nope.
And on that note, thank you so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with people who aren't your friends, share it with your taxi drivers, annoying them to no end. Share it with everyone you know, including the guy who pushes the button in the elevator if you live in a country where that still happens. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next week. Yeah, we'll see you next week.